Hello and welcome. You've no doubt been waiting with bated breath for this episode. A new episode. We all want a new episode, just like the old days. So here we have the Benko Gambit, half accepted variation. Why half accepted? Because I didn't take the second pawn, I just advanced it forward. This is my style, it's my individual nuance, the pawn return variation, as they call it. And currently, I don't know exactly how to handle this position because ordinarily I would want to move my knight here, but I can't do it yet, actually. I have to think. I'm gonna go with a kind of move which I'm not so happy to make, but one which I'm gonna make nonetheless. Uh, Advancing this pawn forward and now releasing e4. But there's going to be a lot of fight for this square, and his knight is going to come in very handsomely there. So I have to acknowledge that I'm going to lose this key positional square. And what am I getting in return is a bit of space on the queen side. So how I'm going to try to handle it is I'm going to try to keep the game on this side of the board and hopefully have an opportunity to dislodge whichever piece is coming here. I know I can't prevent it. Even if I were to do h3, the knight can still slip away here and drop a knight in there because the bishop is supporting it. There's just too many pieces that can drop in here comfortably. So humility is important. Be humble enough to accept that some of the key strategic elements are not in your favor. And how do you pivot from that? So, yeah, this is where we are at. And this is very interesting. He has not gone for the piece drop. Instead, he has blocked his own bishop and cramped up his position. His knight is going to have a hard time releasing itself, so is his bishop. So is this bishop. And on account of that, I think it's in my interest to just keep the structure as it is, complete my development, and then slowly start to squeeze in further. That's the strategy here. Piece mobility is a key concept in figuring out an effective strategy. And here his piece mobility is indeed limited. So, well, now I have to think a little bit differently, a little bit more ambitiously. He really can't do much from what I can tell. So I think I should, in fact, drop a pawn in there before I castle, you know, rattle the cage a little bit. He may be 2200, it doesn't intimidate me. Where's he from? Indonesia. Come on. Okay, so he's gonna go for the f5 pawn break. Now I have a couple of possibilities. I can try to cramp that down, or I can just go ahead with my other plan. And which one am I gonna go for is critical question now. What I see with the f5 pawn break is that uh, hmm, well, I perhaps needed a minute or two more to think about this a little bit more deeply, but I've gone with approach which is somewhat more clear cut. The thing is, with the g4 approach is you end up with this situation where you capture, 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 and rook comes here, and then maybe I can slide my bishop in there. But it becomes a very open game. And in this position where his pieces are quite stifled, I don't know if that's optimal. Now I should consider f4, but no. I want to keep this knight stifled, but these knights are going to start coming out now. They are. And at some point, the bishop might come out too. So this is definitely a move he's considering. Something like this. I have to say it's not immediately apparent how to handle this. But I'm gonna go with a move like this, which is somewhat discouraging that, I think. I think I'm just discouraging it, although I might not really be doing that, because capturing it is exactly what he would want me to do, so he can capture back and then drop a piece in there. So this was an error, I think. But no worries. We don't have to take it. We just have to acknowledge that our bishop is actually not in the game. Instead, maybe we should go for this diagonal. Maybe consider dropping a bishop in here with check. I mean, that's deadly. If you get to do that on the next move, it's game over. So he's pretty much got to go here. And then if you capture, and he captures with the queen by accident, then of course you've got a fork. But he's going to capture with the rook. And because we know that, okay, I think I'm gonna capture because I have another tactic in mind and I don't want to lose any tempo. Oh, he did it with the queen. Isn't that a blunder? Looks like it. So we'll fix him. We'll fix him and then we'll start to gobble up this pawn. I think it looks like it's a pawn there for the winning. Now he's thinking of ideas like this. But if he goes for that line, I think I'm going to restore the knight back. I will allow him to come in. I can handle this. There's no real danger, I think. If I can play reasonably smart, there should be no real danger. Let's go king here. I don't see any effective check from him from either of these diagonals. Oh, there is this one though. There is this. We have to be very, very, very careful now. Come in right here. Block that key square. Then get the rook up and snip this off. This. Let's get the bishop out here, connect the rooks, make sure that this back rank, this final square is really, really secure. That's also useful. Capture, gain a tempo, and then get the piece in the right square. That's my plan. He's got a check, but he can't because I have a tempo on his rook. So he's got to move the rook first. And that should buy me just about enough time to finish my plan here. I have to say, strategically, it's been I mean, he made an error there with his queen, allowing my knight to fork him, and then he doubled down on it by going for the pawn thing, which I understand the match strategy of, but yeah. Okay, I think we take this because we are still threatening something now. Capture and then capture here. Yeah. We will try to trade off the rooks. Now here's a key strategic concept for the middle game. Trading off the redundant piece. I have 2 rooks, he has 1. Now I have 1 rook and he has none. And that's really good for me because a rook can move around really fast all over the place. Unlike these squabbling knights, which are just, doing nothing. Now it's just tricky to make sure you don't fall into a blunder. So always remember that one square in between is the way to do it. And he saw the technique. He saw this guy's too good, so I resign. And well done, well done.